In this lesson, we'll be learning about class Amphibia. Let's discuss what an amphibian is. An amphibian is a vertebrate that 1. Lives in water as a larva and on land as an adult. 2. Breathes with lungs as an adult. 3. Has moist skin that contains mucus glands. And 4. Lacks scales and claws. This sets amphibians apart from fish and reptiles, as both fish and reptiles have scales and reptiles have claws. Amphibian means double life. This emphasizes that they live both in water and on land. Larvae are fish-like, aquatic, and breathe using gills. Adults are terrestrial that breathe using lungs and skin. Feeding. The larvae, sometimes called tadpoles if you're talking about frogs or toads, are usually filter feeders or herbivores. Adults are usually carnivores. The amphibian digestive system is pictured here. From the mouth, food slides down the esophagus and into the stomach, where the digestion of food begins. From the stomach, the food moves into the small intestine, where digestive enzymes are manufactured and food is absorbed. Tubes connect the intestine with organs such as the liver, pancreas, and gallbladder that secrete substances that aid in digestion. The small intestine leads to the large intestine, or colon. Water is absorbed here and waste collected. At the end of the large intestine is a muscular cavity called the cloaca, through which digestive waste, urine, and eggs or sperm leave the body. Respiration. Tadpoles or larvae breathe using gills. Adults breathe using lungs and a little through their skin. In this picture, a frog's lungs are seen. Here, toward the left-hand side, the lighter brown structures. Circulation. Adult amphibians have a double-loop closed circulatory system, like mammals, like humans. One loop takes oxygen-poor blood to the lungs to get oxygenated, and the other loop takes oxygen-rich blood to the body. They have a 3-chambered heart. Here is pictured the amphibian circulatory system. You can see that one loop takes blood to the lungs to get oxygenated, represented by the redder, pinker blood, and one loop takes that blood to the rest of the body. You'll see that it has a 3-chambered heart, so in this ventricle there is mixing of both oxygen-poor and oxygen-rich blood. So not all of the oxygen-rich blood will get taken to the body. Some of it gets mixed up and gets taken back to the lungs. Excretion. Amphibians have kidneys that produce urine that exits the body through the cloaca. The kidneys are seen here on the back wall of the frog. The kidneys collect the metabolic waste produced by cells, and it exits as urine through the cloaca. Movement. Tadpoles move very much like fishes by wiggling their bodies and using a tail for propulsion. Adults use their legs. Salamanders can run well, and frogs and toads can jump well. Response. Amphibians' brains are much like that of fishes. They have well-developed nervous and sensory systems. They have a nictitating membrane that protects their eyes from damage underwater and keeps their eyes moist on land. Here pictured is the nictitating membrane. It's only on half of the eye. So here's its line right here, the nictitating membrane here, and not up here. It almost acts as a third eyelid, helping protect the eye underwater and keeping the eye moist while on land. Amphibians also have a tympanic membrane or eardrum that helps detect sound. Reproduction. Amphibian eggs do not have shells and dry out if they are not kept moist. Most species, therefore, lay their eggs in water. Fertilization is external or internal depending on the species, and because they lay their eggs in water, that means they are oviparous or egg-bearing. They lay eggs in the water and there is no attachment to the mother, and the eggs get their nourishment using the yolk. And that is an introduction to class Amphibia and the way they perform the 7 survival characteristics.